All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I have 7 o'clock. Welcome to the operational briefing for Tuesday, September 15th. My name is Roger Noon, Plant Section Chief for Incident Management Team 1. Please take this opportunity to silence your cell phones, turn down your radios if you have them on, and if you need to have a conversation or take a phone call, please take it well outside the briefing area. I'd like to also remind everybody that to maintain your social distancing, keep your mask on. We're also asking that supervisors and strike team leaders attend the briefing. We're trying to minimize the amount of folks in here, so briefing is being broadcast on that TAC channel and on YouTube as well, so that you can watch that briefing. We'll start off with the current incident situation update.
Hey, good morning. Polo Rodriguez, Night Operations. Kind of had a reset day yesterday. 24 hours ago at this point, fire was running hard in Jose Basin. And because of the hard work and the time, yesterday we were able to go direct. The wind blew all night last night, and it actually stayed in its place. To back off a little bit, talking to the North Zone folks, they pretty much had the same thing reset from A to B. Division Alpha and Bravo, they pretty much held that, and they're still dealing with a lot of the stuff up at the the cabin. So anyway, from back up on our side, as we continue down from Ranger Lake, like I said, it had held in Jose Basin, and that went pretty good last night with the direct. A lot of heat on the interior, but nothing came out. The big fear we had yesterday was in Barrow Valley, Barrow Mountain. We thought the fire wasn't going to come down. They did pin it with some air tankers during the day, but where the fire did poke out a little bit is in the Soap Root area, and we burned it out, hung it up the burn show there, or the defensive firing in down at the creek. From there, going up to Shaver Lake, behind the homes, everything looked good in there still. And same thing with Ski Resort. One thing we noticed up here at Huntington Lake, we had about 8-acre flare up, kind of go up. You got to remember, even though we have line around it, we still have a lot of green islands. So tactical patrol is very important. With that, have a great shift.
All right, thank you. Next, we're going to review our incident objectives. Our management objectives are to utilize the risk management process to identify and mitigate hazards to protect firefighters and the public. Emphasize strategies and tactics that have the highest probability of success and the least exposure to firefighters and the public. We're going to develop strategies to protect life, property, communities, businesses, and infrastructure. Employ tactics that fulfill these strategies while being mindful of the necessity for contingency and emergency plans. Ensure strategies account for incident priorities, applying resources to those with the highest consequences first. We're going to follow COVID-19, CDC, and established local, state, and federal guidance to limit virus spread within the incident and surrounding communities near the fire area. We're going to provide timely and continuous incident information to affected agency partners, cooperators, and the public. We're going to maintain fiscal accountability and keep costs commensurate with values at risk. For our control objectives, we're going to keep the fire north of Pine Flat Lake, keep the fire south of South Fork of the Merced River and the crest of Ansel Adams Wilderness. We're going to keep the fire east of Highway 41 and keep the fire west of Minarets Range. Next up will be weather.
Good morning, Incident Meteorologist Matt Malia with today's weather. So the word for the day is change. We've been stuck in the soup the last few days with not a lot of clearing. Yesterday we got a slight preview in the late afternoon, but today we're going to expect better air quality across the fire. It may not seem like it right now, but we are actually seeing a little bit better improvement this morning per some of the air quality stations around the area. But do be heads up on your way out the line. Some of the deeper canyons and valleys, the smoke definitely settled in there, so reduced visibilities. For the change today, though, we're going to still deal with some smoke coming in from the Castle Fire to our south, but most of that will be higher elevated smoke. That will drift off to the northeast during the afternoon. That means more sunshine for our area. More sunshine is going to equal warmer temperatures, lower humidity, and more importantly, stronger winds in the lower elevations, especially for boots on the ground. You're going to see stronger up canyon, upslope type flow. For tonight, we will cool off, but the cooling will have a downside to it. We're going to see some stronger downslope, down canyon type winds. We're still going to remain on the mild side, so just be heads up for change. Have a safe shift.
All right, thank you. Next up will be fire behavior.
Good morning, Don Watt with your fire behavior. So as you heard, the changing in conditions. Some things we started looking at is we kind of dropped off a little bit in the last couple of days. Our energy release component, our BI started falling down. We're climbing back up to that 90th percentile and really getting close in some of the categories to your 97th percentile. Your humidities are dropping down to minimums over a 20-year average, so be heads up. As we get that sun, things are going to pick up. Winds are going to be switching from 180 degrees, southwest to northeast. So tonight, things that might be hanging up on slopes might start picking up activity and making some harder runs coming downhill. So just have a plan in your head, be cautious, and keep up on current conditions, what the weather's doing in your area, and make your plans accordingly. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll have our branch division operational work assignments.
Good morning, Tony Brown on Incident Management Team 1, day operations. So you heard it, it's starting to wake up. So the last couple of days it's been kind of stretching its legs, now it's getting ready to run. The weather's changing, we saw it's been giving us hints the last 2 or 3 days, especially down in Whiskey and Uniform. Every opportunity it gets is spotting out and is starting to make little runs. So there's an old saying in the fire service, fight fire aggressively, provide for safety first. Let's kind of keep that in mind. There's nothing out there worth hurting ourselves over. I want you guys to all have a safe shift. Up here in Division Nora, the U.S. Forest Service will send some people out here to start wrapping some of their infrastructure. Just keep in mind they're out there. They'll be off that Kaiser Peak Road. Division Romeo and Papa, a little bit of runs back in here and stuff, but it's doing what we want. It's going through the things. Tactical patrol around those structures in there. That's very important. We want to keep what we got. Down here in Romeo, these spot fires have been rung. A little bit concerned about this area in here with that southwest wind coming in, but we want to make sure we hold it. There was some activity down here, like they said. It's around the structures. There's a big island in there, or a eyebrow. We just kind of keep on that and make sure we don't lose any structures. Moving to the south side, down in there on that east side of Schaefer, Rock Creek area. There's a lot of heavy rock in there. The dozers are having slow progress, but we are opening up that Rock Creek Road all the way down as the catcher's mitt for it. Very hard to go direct in that area. On the south side of Whiskey, same thing. A lot of rock. We can't go direct. We're letting it come down on the hill. Just get a little catcher's mitt. We'll deal with it once it gets down towards Digby Creek. The area that's really concerned me is that Blue Canyon down here at the bottom of Whiskey and Union. It's in alignment. If it does get enough wind up there, it can run back up towards Schaefer. So all that stuff we've done in here to save these structures, it's going to be threatened again. We need to really go in there, tactical patrol, and improve the lines in that section to keep that from going back into Schaefer. The area on the bottom of Whiskey going into Victor, that's where we're looking at doing our firing operation. It got down the bottom of Sycamore Creek last night or yesterday. It's going to try to run back up. So we're preparing for it to come back up. We got our firing plan in place. We'll do defensive firing until we're in a place where we can do the full firing operation. We're looking at about 5,000 acres on that. Moving down to the Toll House area, moving up into X-Ray, the Meadow Lakes area, the Ball Rock area. Great tactical patrol in there. We're getting it in. We're getting it mopped up. There's some islands in there we need to address. But let's get in there, get out of your engines, get around those structures because we're going to be looking at repopulating that at some point. We want to make it safe for the people to go back in. Division Zulu, that area blew out on Jose Basin. Phenomenal work on last shift and the shift before that at night. They held it in place. It didn't get across. Only one spot across Jose Basin. That was a crucial spot for us right there, not from just our side, but the north side. And there's a lot of people down there who would have been effective if that thing would have got across Jose Basin. Phenomenal work. We're expecting 100% from you guys, but you're giving us 110. It's not going unnoticed. Keep up the great work. We'll see you next shift.
All right, now we'll have branch division roll call.
Morning, Colonel Resource Unit Leader. When we do the branch and divisional roll call, all equipment will do your roll call at your assigned branch breakouts. For the South Zone, starting branch 2025, Johnson. Here. Heinbach trainee. Here. Division Nora Papa, Huck. Here. Division Romeo, Appleton. Here. And Demantry trainee. Here. Thank you. Division Sierra, Whitwer. There'll be a change between Sierra and Union. Whistler will be the division for Union. Branch 29, Stornetta. Division Victor Whiskey, Dunham. And Wade. Division X-Ray Zulu, Sorensen and Morris. Contingency branch, McDougal. Thank you. Have a safe shift.
All right, thank you. Now we'll have air operations.
Good morning. Matt Hill, Air Operations, CAL FIRE Team 1. We will have air attack up early this morning, along with a lead, 4 Type 1s, 4 Type 3s, and a VLAT. Visibility has been our challenge. So we're going to get the helicopters up as soon as possible. We have 11 Type 1 water droppers and then 3 Type 2s. And then make sure you guys are monitoring air to ground, command and TAC. And then the folks on the ground, the engines and the crews, you'll be talking on air to ground TAC. Keep it short and concise, please. And then also we do have Copter 407 as a 24-hour medevac ALS hoist. And we are sharing that with the Sequoia. Make it a safe shift.
Next up will be safety.
Good morning, everybody. Brad Niven, Safety Trainee, Incident Command Team 1. We heard it from FBAM, we heard it from the IMAT, some changes coming today. Ensure that everybody here delivers a good, proper briefing, even though they may have been listening to TAC or watching it on YouTube, that you deliver another briefing to your folks that aren't here, ensuring that they understand the changes that might be coming today. Aircraft safety. If we get those changes, the winds move out the smoke and the aircraft are in there working, stay out of those drop zones. Please, if you think you're out of the way, you're probably not out of the way far enough. Move back farther. Last thing, traffic control points. Observe and pay attention to the traffic control points. Those are there for your safety and the people who are working in those traffic control zones. There is no reason for anybody to go through those traffic control zones without observing the flaggers. If you need to go through code 3 for some reason, stop, check in with the flaggers, and do not proceed through until they tell you that is clear. With that, have a safe shift.
Next up will be communications.
Good morning, Tom Webb, Communications Unit Leader. No changes to the comm plan from previous shifts. Still, AT&T is still working on getting some service back up in that Huntington Lake area, as well as trying to get all the rest of the cell sites back restored to give us better coverage over the incident. If you have any questions about your radio, come see us in room number 5. We're open there for repairs and cloning from 0630 to 1830. Thanks.
And now we'll have medical.
Good morning, John Ford, Medical Unit Leader, Trainee. Please turn to page 26 in our IAP. You'll find the 206. We'll have standby ambulances at Shaver and Huntington Lake areas. We also have Fireline EMTs and REMS team in your divisions. Please review box 6, line emergencies and base camp emergencies. And also please note, agency reps shall go with the injured employee whenever possible. CalMat is in room 32 that you can get medical supply and also medical evaluation, and medical unit is in room 8 if you have any further questions. Thank you and have a great shift.
Now we'll hear from logistics.
Good morning, Jacob Guerra, Logistics Trainee. Page 27 of your IAP is a services schedule for all your camp needs. Page 28 is your CAL FIRE 101. For any items left or damaged on the line, it does require a division signature. And page 64 is your base camp map. Also, when driving through camp or on the main road here, please slow down and continue to wear your mask around camp. Thanks.
Public information.
Good morning, Emily Smith, Public Information. If you'd like to join me on page 29 in your IAP in the Public Information section, and I can give you some numbers to write in. For our current acreage on the creek incident, it's 220,025 acres at 16% containment with 2,623 personnel assigned. On this page 29, there's phone numbers to the top you can refer the public and media to, as well as we ask to please follow the federal and CAL FIRE social media policy. If you'd like to post something, whether pictures or video, please come by the PIO shop so we can vet that. Lost and Found's been established in room 13 here as well, and there's a change in the address if you'd like something mailed here, so please look at the bottom, and that's the new location to have mail routed to. Thank you and have a good day.
Also, a reminder, if you're a trainee on this incident, please make sure you time with the training tech spec over near check-in. Now will be our COVID advisor.
Morning, Jake Lubera, COVID advisor. I just want to point out to folks that a lot of the things that we're doing now is stuff our folks trained us for. We were subject to contact tracing early on in our lives when we came home a little late and our parents were sitting in the chair turning to us saying, where have you been and who have you been with? So that's the beginning of contact tracing for you. The other piece of this is at some point in your life, somebody told you when you were little, don't touch that. You don't know where that's been. You've been trained for COVID basically all your life. I appreciate what everybody's doing around here. This is the only thing that can stop us. Please keep up the good work and please stay safe.
Thank you. Next will be our agency administrator.
Good morning. Dean Gould, Forest Supervisor, Agency Administrator for the Creek Fire. Just wanted to share a couple things with you this morning. First, wanted to talk about you for a second and you being out here. Obviously, it takes a tremendous amount of sacrifice to be doing the line of work that all of you have chosen to do. There are benefits, and I just want to touch on a couple of those. The personal professional satisfaction obviously should be off the chart. I talked the other day about how you are actually having a global impact here in responding to this incident. But there's one other thing I wanted to mention, and that is the camaraderie, the friendships that you develop out here, unparalleled. You can never develop the depth of a friendship that you can when you go into harm's way with somebody. When you knowingly, willingly go into something that you know your life is at risk, and you're depending on that person to your left and to your right to be watching out for you and vice versa, you're never going to find that anywhere else. In terms of developing those friendships, that camaraderie, that's something that's going to last a lifetime. This is a family. We go from incident to incident, we see each other, and we choose to do this, and there's a benefit to that. So appreciate each other, take care of each other. Now, as far as the incident goes, please do be mindful of what weather and fire behavior mentioned this morning. The word was change. Think back to the first full day on this incident. What did it do? Went 15 miles in one day. It's very, very easy for every day out here to be a Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, but it seems like Wednesday. And every day can seem the same. It's now that we've been out here almost 2 weeks, very easy to settle into a routine, but you can't. Every day you have to do a reset. Do a personal reset. What do you personally want to accomplish? Do a situational reset for the incident. What is going on out here? The conditions are changing, and this thing can get up and go again in a hurry, so please be aware of that. Thank you very much for all you're doing.
All right, thank you. And now our incident commander.
Hi, good morning. George Huang, one of the Unified Deputy Incident Commanders for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. As I look around the room as we go through what we call Groundhog Day, day in and day out, and I'm watching individuals writing hopefully good notes on what we're talking about here, other folks on the cell phones, but this is where it comes to where we're at today on this incident. We started off this fire with about 600 personnel fighting a monster of a fire. Now we're at nearly 3,000. 3,000 personnel. That means that every single branch, division, every one of your leaders here that are in this briefing area needs to meet the expectations that we have promised our agency administrators, and that is everybody gets a briefing. 3,000 folks on this fire. Communication needs to be critical because FBAN says something today that's going to be a key to today's operational period. That means 180-degree wind change. Pay attention to what's going on. Every day cannot be Groundhog Day because we have to pay attention to your staff, your personnel, and the leadership up here from our team to the force to make sure you guys are going out there, making a safe day, and putting this fire to bed. With that, have a great day.
All right, thank you. Before we get moving, just a few more announcements. We have a 10 a.m. cooperators meeting right here in this location today, a 1700 planning meeting in the presentation center, and another operational briefing tomorrow morning at 0700 right here at this location. For breakouts, starting over here on my left with branch 2025, NP, R, S, and U. In the back, we have VW and XZ. Contingencies over here to my far right, and if you're an unassigned resource, meet with resources in the back table in the very back. Turn your cell phones back on and have a great day.